For sure. According to the Fresh Prince.
Can I Kick It podcast?
Episode fucking 12. Let's try this one more time.
Can I Kick It podcast, episode fucking 12, take 1. Action. Why did I say fucking 12?
I like it. Fucking 12. Why you cursing for?
No, because you literally just said. Anyway, sorry.
Because I'm fucking with you.
I'm a parrot over here.
Don't try to edit this out. Just keep it in there.
Can I Kick It podcast, episode.
Don't try to edit this out. Just keep it in there.
Can I Kick It podcast, episode 12, take 1. Action.
Promotional gold. Is all I want you to know. So please send me that take. Yo, we're back at it. Can I Kick It? Episode 12. How you doing? Marlon? Well, go on, brother. DJ August. You sometimes. What do you call yourself when you're DJing? I mean, we'll grab your mic and all that. It's okay, but I just want to know what you call yourself when you're DJing. Our production manager is quite the talented person. So, you know.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
How you been?
I've been good. When I DJ, I'm not DJ August.
What are you?
August Gems.
August Gems?
City of August.
City of August?
Yeah.
If you hear City of August at a jam, you're in the right place. Honestly.
August James, City of August, you name it.
August James, City of August, you name it. Anyways, my brother, how are you?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Let me say this. I want people to understand that this is a lot of work. And if you want to be successful, I think it's a lot of tough conversations, which I truly appreciate from my colleague here. The production has been A1. I know what I look like on camera sometimes and that I may look annoyed or unhappy with it, but this is the gentleman who is helping me understand what it takes to make it in this business and who has difficult conversations and calls me out on every single one of my mishaps. So I want to say that to begin. I want to thank anybody that's been tuning in, which is like the two of us, but there's other people who watch on YouTube. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I want to, say that we are working to give you the content, and if you have any comments, we are willing to hear what you want to say, and any criticism, we're open to it. We want to know how we can be better. Episode 12, the Can I Kick It podcast. Chefs in the back. We support local, as we usually do. My chefs over here are producing for a production. For Amazon Prime, and they're here catering for those guys and making sure that the crew is well fed. So thank you to Marlon, Chef Sherwood, the counselor, Chris Weber, Daryl. I want to show all of you guys for doing what you do and to keeping that crew well fed and to keeping us all, healthy during this pandemic.
Shameless plug, 1186 Queen Street West.
Yeah, when they're open again, which I hear might be February 30th. I hear that, but that could be like I get my news off Instagram.
I can assure you it will not be February the 30th. You know why?
Why?
Because there's not 28 days in February. Leap year, it's 29.
Oh. I'm the idiot that got caught. Saying. No, you are absolutely right. The 29th, and it is not a leap year. Is there ever a fucking 30th of February?
No.
What a fucking idiot I am. I told my girl
2nd.
Said nothing. I've lost all track of time in this quarantine. That is you, my friend. So yeah, here we are, back again. The league sucks completely, but sometimes you gotta fucking appreciate it and understand what it is and what you're seeing and how that might pertain to your objective team or opinion. Raptors lost, I think, every game this week, didn't they?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Monday, Indiana, that's an L. Milwaukee, Wednesday, that's an L.
And that's going to do it. Been a lot
Friday, Sacramento, that was an L.
It seems like it's like we rewinded and we're back at this time where like we just couldn't get over the hump. It's not that we're not competing in games, it's just that we're not winning games.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, this last game against Sacramento really hurt because that was one that they definitely should have won.
I am a big believer of small things, and I'll say this to you, August. I think my biggest problem with watching the Raptors games this week is Kyle Lowry's attitude. There's 2 ejections in a week, right? 2 ejections in a week. You are the veteran on a young team. I need you to be more poised, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, when you're out or you're gaining fouls or you find that, you're not dealing with the refs the right way, the person behind you is feeling that. When you set the tone as a starter and the bench doesn't come in and perform, I can understand that. But when you set a poor tone as a starter and the bench comes in and performs poorly, I'm putting that on your shoulders. And that's just part of the fucking, responsibility of being a starter.
I don't think it's a starter thing. I think it's being a vet, a professional.
Sure. But like you're the guy that leads the team, regardless. Starter, vet, locker room presence. Like Lowry is that for this team. It's part of the reason we call him the greatest Raptor of all time.
Yeah, I mean, what annoys me when it comes to Lowry is they've always had this mantra of no excuses.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Always had that mantra.
Next man up. Yep.
I think what you're alluding to is it feels like that only applies, or correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a little bit of a feeling that only applies when you're winning.
Well,
because now you're losing and you're completely losing your composure. You're getting ejected by the refs.
Yes.
With 4 seconds left in the... Like 4 seconds left in a 2-point game, or a 3-point game.
I think what we're trying to get the Raptors to do is play 48 minutes straight. Right? You want 48 minutes of even if you are going to be poor on the offensive end, you want 48 minutes of defensive continuity and consistency. Mm-hmm. And I think when you get a tech in the last 4 minutes, the last minute, and you get ejected, let Nick Nurse do that. I would rather you come in and set the tone that we're going to be professional all the way through, because that's what it's going to take for you guys to do anything in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Right? But you getting ejected, which is something Lowry does consistently every time he comes back from injury. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if he's having some sort of confidence issues as to where he stands amongst the young bucks, or if he's having some sort of control issue as to, the game is going poorly and I can't sway the refs or so on and so forth. But you are, by all means, what everybody looks to set the tone. Mm-hmm. If Lowry gets a charge, that changes the pace of a game. If Lowry hits a 3, that changes the pace of a game. You're the new big shot Billups. I don't need you, my veteran, to be losing his composure to the point where you're getting ejected. I don't care if it's for nothing or if you think that the refs are being unfair. You saw it in one game. Don't make it happen in a second. You're a championship guard. You've won a championship, and you're a professional at this point. That's what you hang your hat on. It's not your points or your stats. It's that you come in and lead a team every week, every game. I don't need you to come in and get techs and leave a team with a poor finish.
This is true.
Right?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just weird. I went back and I looked at...
Is it weird, though? Doesn't he do this regularly? Regularly?
Well,
Isn't that his MO?
No, that's his MO. He complains to ref. But when you're on a winning team...
Yes.
The refs... When you're on a winning team, the refs actually listen to what you got to say.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When you're on a loser, the refs will disrespect you and eject you from a game with 4 seconds left in a game that you still have a chance in, like we saw with Lowry, which is that ref pretty much looked at him and said, "Stop beaking off," and he continued, and she said, "All right, go home."
Facts. She did look at him and said she poorly handled that game.
Yeah, she handled that poorly.
Yeah, I will say that.
But truth be told, if the Raptors were second in the East, you think she's ejecting Kyle Lowry with 4 seconds left in the game?
I mean, yes, because I think Kyle Lowry sometimes, when he comes back from injury, has this perpetuation to talk to the refs to assert himself as, I'm a respected all-star. Mm-hmm. I get that she handled it poorly, but she's not trying to win 82 games, and she's not trying to make it somewhere in the playoffs or prove anything.
I honestly feel like if the Raptors were in second in the East, she would have said, "There's 4 seconds left. I don't have to deal with this guy anymore."
Okay, let me put it this
Just
way.
let him lose and go home.
Let me put it this way. I think that Kyle Lowry, at this point in his time, he's the person that's trying to earn something. He's the person that's trying to win a championship, change a narrative. That ref is just another fucking monkey wrench in the level that you're playing. So let's say you play level 1, maybe the refs are super nice. You play level 2, the refs are, maybe not as nice, but they're even, all the way up until level 10. Now you get to level 10 to 15, and now the refs are making calls against you. You're trying to win a game. That ref is an obstacle within that game that you're trying to win. You can't look at that ref and allow that ref to dictate how you're going to react to a call. You have to look at your team and allow your team to adjust to that, first of all, and then force a dictation upon that ref. That's how the game works. And if it was the Raptors prior to the championship, I would understand Lowry. But at this point, you've won a championship. You know what it takes.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
And as for the next part of this, I think that if you are Lowry and the veteran leader on the team and you are the one that has been running this club, you have the mantra of the greatest Raptor ever, Fred is learning under you. Malachi is learning under you.
Let's not get to Malachi yet.
Cool. Fred, who hasn't had the most impressive season since we gave him $84 million. He's had an all right season, but it's very up and down.
I don't even like the way you said that.
What do you like about it?
Because the way you said that, you're kind of saying that we gave him his money and now he's not performing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Nah, I'm not feeling that.
Why are you not feeling that?
Bro, the team, I hate going back here, but we lost Serge and Mark. We have no big men in the front.
Don't care. Don't care, because you know who else doesn't care? Every other Raptors fan out there.
Okay,
they don't care.
That's true. But my thing is, if we did have big men in the front, this team would be different. That win-loss column would be really different.
We might be 500.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be a championship team yet.
But there's a big difference between what we are now and 500. Right now,
Explain.
we're 7-12? If we're 500, which is 10-9, basically, or 9-10, somewhere around there, then people are actually talking about us in the playoffs. Right now, no one's talking about the Raptors. Everybody's saying finally they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
It's still the best defense in the league, but the league is much more offensive than it was last year.
They're not the best defense, not even close.
Who's the best defense in the league?
Surprisingly, the Knicks are up there. You know the Knicks are top 5 in defense? Hold the eye roll.
Are you doing that off of numbers?
Off of numbers, Knicks are actually top 5. Tom Thibodeau, for all the talk about him, he hangs his hat on defense. He went there. Team is still not producing.
Yes.
But defensively, they're doing numbers defensively.
The best defensive team in the league right now
Is not the Knicks.
is the Raptors.
All right.
Who do we beat so far?
Bro, this podcast needs credibility. You know that, right?
I don't care. I don't.
You start saying shit like one of the top defensive teams in the leagues are the Raptors.
This is one of the best
we just
defensive
gave up
teams.
140 points to Sacramento.
You have seen a score underneath 100. It's the
Chef
games that they
Marlon
win.
chimes in. He hasn't seen a
Aren't
score
you
underneath
cooking?
100
Aren't
yet.
you cooking?
Sorry, sir. I'm just a cook.
You are just a cook.
Highlights. It's always scores over 100.
What are
They have been for
Marlon stating facts. Every
can
single
pull up
time he
the
looks at
wins
the
right now.
highlights,
You can
the
pull up
score
wins
is.
right now.
You want to
I
know
would like
what
to
the record is?
Pull up the Raptors season stats in terms of, wins and losses. They're the only team that's out of the playoffs, out of that top 8, that has a positive point differential.
This is true. Didn't I tell you that?
No, a guy at work told me that.
I'm
stole it
pretty
from
sure I
him.
told you that.
You might have. And maybe I repeated it to a guy at work. Who knows? I just steal stuff from everybody. But in the wins, they're keeping teams under 100 points or just 2.
In the wins,
In the
all
wins,
7 of them.
Most of them, I think.
What about the losses? You're not the best defensive team because of what you do in the wins.
In the
and not
losses,
in
they
the
play
losses.
bad defense and they don't have the offense to compete.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, they lost the first. When did the season start? They played New Orleans to start
December
the season.
22nd?
23rd. All right. Well, to start the season, the Raptors gave up 113, 119, 100. Then they won when they gave up 83 to the Knicks.
There you go.
All right. Then they gave up 120, 126, 123,
And lost?
123.
And lost?
Oh, well, that last 123 they won because they scored 144.
40. Yeah, and sat starters. Cool.
Then they gave up 106, 112. This is not, bro, these numbers are not best team in the league. Then they started winning games. They won, but they gave up 108, 113,
That's
93.
not terrible in today's NBA, though.
It's not terrible, but the best defensive teams in the league are holding teams
Who are you
under
playing?
100.
Who scored
to Marlon's
113
point.
and 100 and 108?
108 was Charlotte. 113 was Charlotte.
They lost one to Charlotte there. Did they win both of those?
They won both those.
Okay.
They
held Luka to 15.
They held Luka to 93 points.
They
is what they gave Dallas.
They held Steph to 1 of 9.
Regardless, bro, they're not the best defensive team.
How do we insert a word like regardless into this conversation?
We just do. They're not the best defensive team.
The reason the Raptors are the best defensive team in the league is not because of the capability of the actual team. It's because of the schemes that they play. You put somebody like...
This is not subjective. Numbers don't lie.
Explain what you mean by this is not subjective.
It's not a matter of opinion. Numbers do not lie when it comes to who's got the better defense.
Numbers lie all the time.
Defense is about keeping the other team from putting the ball in the hoop. And the numbers show that the Raptors are letting the other team put the ball in the hoop.
Do you remember a couple years ago when the Golden State Warriors would blow teams out by 30? Mm-hmm. And people would say that they had the best defense, and then the stat came out that a lot of teams gave up in that third quarter or after the half because they were being blown out so hard. Mm-hmm. So numbers do lie. It doesn't say that that's your best defense. It says that your offense crushes the team that you're playing so hard that you no longer feel like playing because you're down by 30.
I mean, that's part of it. You can't deny that the Golden State Warriors were a solid defensive unit at the same time.
Decently. I don't think that defense was better than the Raptors championship run.
No. The Raptors championship defense was a solid defense.
I feel like, what I'm saying is I feel like there's players that if you wanted to plug into this defense, if you had defensive players of the year, which you're missing, in Serge Ibaka and Pau Gasol, these numbers jump astronomically. Well, so the defensive scheme, I'm saying, is the best defensive scheme in the NBA because it allows you to be fluid with the opponent that you're playing.
My man, you all right?
Jagger, you don't agree with what I'm saying?
Jagger's not a ball man, so you can talk to the ball man. Yo,
okay, cool.
Whoever's talking too much, put that in his mouth, all right? You know what I'm saying? I'm in my own world.
I don't trust them that say put stuff in people's mouths.
Yeah, I was about to say pause.
It's mad crazy. I just don't want anything in my mouth that a man them is. Anyways,
Compliments of the counselor.
compliments to the chef. All I'm saying is that when I say it's the best defense in the league, I understand it to be that it's the best defensive scheme. I understand it to be that the coach is able to execute that with those players and able to motivate those players to do so. I'm not saying that they have the talent to necessarily rank number one, but they do have the coaching and the schemes that if they play hard enough every night, which is difficult.
You know what I hear? I hear they have potential.
All right.
And that's awesome. Right? It's
It
awesome.
is awesome to have potential.
I'm about show and prove.
Do you have a solution for the problems that we're having?
Yeah.
Do you have a solution for 7 and 12?
Yeah.
What is it?
Change the personnel.
Oh, who do you want?
Truthfully,
Truthfully.
funny you should go here.
And please be.
I want
please
Bradley
make it
Beal.
somebody that's available. You want Bradley Beal.
Truthfully, I want Bradley Beal. That's not going to help the defense. But right now, I want Bradley Beal. I want Andre Drummond.
I don't want Andre Drummond.
We need an upgrade. I want Andre Drummond. The problem there, though, is his salary.
I don't want Andre Drummond because the problem there is Andre Drummond. But I will connect with you on Bradley Beal. What is your opinion as to how that fits and who we give up?
If we were to trade Bradley Beal, we have to give a young star up. Three young solid pieces that we have signed right now are Siakam,
Yes.
Anunoby, and Fred VanVleet. If it was my choice, I'd give him Siakam. They'd probably ask for Siakam anyway.
Thank you. Yeah.
Marlon agrees.
Foolish enough to ask for Siakam.
They would ask for Siakam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with the Raptors giving up draft picks.
Do we have any?
I'm not so sure about. I should have looked it up, but
That's
I'm not
fine.
so sure about future years. The NBA has a rule in place where you can't give up first-round draft picks in consecutive years.
What's interesting to me is that you're not willing to give up OG Anunoby,
No,
but you're willing to give up Siakam, and I want to know why.
I think we're slowly starting to realize that Siakam is overvalued.
I think it's a thin line. I think that Siakam needs 2 years.
Marlon, you agree?
If Siakam had a real vet to train him, to give him the real digs, then I would totally support him. He's kind of left on his own to learn. Yes, he has a coach, but it's different when you have a real when you have a real person, teammate that you can work with. It's different, and that's what he doesn't have.
Let me pose this to you.
Okay.
I just want you to think about Siakam beside Ruchi Hachimura. There's no John Wall.
I just think that Siakam needs to have someone to train him. If he had training, he'd be totally different.
He has fucking
He's solid,
Phil
but
Handy.
he's naturally gifted, but that can only take you so far. And anything you do,
Fair enough.
sports,
I'm
whatever
not
it is,
arguing that.
he just needs someone to show him. Yeah, you do this, you do that.
Okay.
He doesn't have that. We got to give him that. If we gave him that, it would be a different story. If he didn't take that and roll with it, then I'd be like, yo, get him out of here.
I don't think the biggest Marlon, you're making sense. I don't think the biggest problem with this trade is necessarily the money or what you're getting for him, because I think Bradley Beal is a much polished player, and I understand what the Raptors are. But let's understand what we're giving Washington. You're giving Washington an undeveloped transitional talent alongside Ruchi Hachimura, Bertrand, and so on and so forth. So I just think it's a dangerous trade, but if we want to be anywhere in the playoffs this year, I think Bradley Beal is it. But I don't think Bradley Beal is bringing us to a championship, is all I'm saying.
I think Bradley Beal is a piece that the Raptors would love to have. I only agree with bringing someone like Bradley Beal and paying the price for Bradley Beal if we have front court help. Because if you bring Bradley Beal into this, great, we're going to win more games, but we're not going to win a chip.
Do you have any front court propositions? Really quick?
Drummond.
I don't like it. Give me another one. I'll take Cauley Stein off of the fucking, what's it called?
Willie Cauley-Stein?
As long as athletic. Marvin Bagley off Sacramento.
I would take Drummond, or I would take the other Cleveland dude, the one that came from Brooklyn, Jared Allen.
JaVale McGee.
I would take Drummond, or I would take the other Cleveland dude, Jared Allen.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well,
Hold on. Marlon wants to get the next word in.
I don't really have anything to say other than we got to understand something about our team right now. They ain't coming home. And there's something about playing in Toronto. Everybody knows when they come to Toronto, it's a different atmosphere. Our boys are playing somewhere where they're not home. Everybody likes to go home for mama's cooking, but they never get to come home for mama's cooking. They've been on the road permanently. So let's take that into consideration at the end of the day. We're going to cast judgment and everything, but these guys, they're playing hard, but they never get to come home to mama. You know what I'm saying? They never get to come home to us. And I'll tell you, everybody knows in this league that Toronto fans are top of top. True that.
Yep.
And these guys, they're telling you the real, but bring these cats home, it's a different story. I'll tell you that right now.
Factual. You're right. The Raptors are playing at an unprecedented disadvantage. Absolutely. Who do we play? We play Orlando tonight. Any predictions real quick, brother?
We're favored by 6.
Okay, cool.
These days, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because every single time I look at that line,
we're bigger, longer, stronger is what it is.
Pause. But you walk right into that one.
My bad.
But yeah, we're playing Orlando back to back. I think we got a next game and then Brooklyn.
Brooklyn should be interesting.
Really? You actually think it's going to be
I
interesting?
think it will be interesting because of the defensive scheme, sir. The defensive scheme, I want to see what adjustments Nick Nurse has to play against.
If we could defend against Brooklyn, they can't stop anybody, so that works in our favor, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully OG's back tonight. Anyways, August, thank you for your patience, your dedication, and to your drive to this podcast. Sir,
Likewise, homie.
thank you very much. You deserve it much more than I do. We will see you next week. 3 a.m. Can I kick it? We'll have more things and more shit to tell you later on. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Deuces. Let it go.
I just want to take a picture. That's the picture button, right?
Yeah.